Hello everybody, the Mini-Face God has a special deal going on in Raid Shadow Legends today, so I'm going to show you and talk about that event and give you my breakdown of the opinion, if it's worth it, etc. I think that this one is actually a little bit interesting, so I'll give you my opinion. On top of that, I wanted to let you guys know the full theme song of the Whale Pod is in fact released, so we're going to roll the intro and give you a taste of the normal song, and the full 2-minute version is out for the people that did not know. It's on the channel, you can find it. I love you all, thanks for liking, subscribing, and leaving comments. I do read them all. Let's get going with today's episode. Roll the intro.
Whale Pod. Welcome, Whale Pod. Don't forget to subscribe. This is Microtransactions channel, and we're gonna have some fun tonight. Whale Pod, welcome back.
Raid Shadow Legends with a 40 Ancient Shard to get him guaranteed event. Let's talk about this. If you actually look at the character itself in the index, so that way we can get a full opinion of him, he is in fact another dwarf. Now, the dwarfs don't have too many characters. We have a decent amount of rares, but the epics and legendaries are fairly limited, though it's filling out as time goes on. And for that reason, it is important that we're going to need to also think about faction wars when we look at the characters. So let's look at the basic attack here. First of all, the basic attack hits everybody. So stun set is great, and it looks like when fully booked, it's a 40% chance of putting 50% decreased accuracy debuff for 2 turns. Decreased accuracy is something that's becoming more common, and I think is actually pretty decent. The second move removes all buffs from a target enemy, then it attacks them. Steals all buffs instead if they're under an HP burn debuff that he placed, and then reduces the cooldown of the other move, Quicksand Grasp, by 2 turns if the target is killed by this skill while under an HP burn placed by him once again. Okay, so HP burn is going to, looks like it has some kind of synergy as long as he places it. The third move fully depletes the target's turn meter, fills the champion's turn meter by the amount the target loses. This can also be read as steal 100% of the target's turn meter. Here we go. Has 75% chance of placing HP burn and a weaken on the target for 3 turns. I like this move. This is a move that is, how to put it, fairly unique. I don't think anyone else has HP burn plus weaken combo in one move, and you can book it all the way down to 3 turn with 100%. It's an epic, and it does not have any damage book, so this is pretty much, this is a fair book. I think it's an expensive one. It takes 6, but I think that's fair because it's just buff, debuff, and cooldown. I actually like this character a good amount. Now, if we look at the passive here, decreases the damage all allies receive by 15% and deflects that damage onto each enemy under an HP burn debuff placed by this champion. Whenever this champion is attacked, deflects 30% of the damage instead. Now, this damage, from what I understand, also can trigger stuff like Giant Slayer, and so for this reason, you can do a significant amount of damage with him as well. And then if we look here, he has ally HP in all battles, so that's actually pretty decent. I think this guy is great. Obviously, he would work pretty good in things like the Frost Spider, and Doom Tower, but the fact that he has a basic attack that attacks all enemies also means stun set, taunt set, stuff like that is going to be pretty good. And considering you also deflect 30% of your damage, you could make him tanky with stuff like a taunt set in order to continually CC people. The fact that this goes down to 3 turn cooldown is pretty good. He has 94 speed, so he's not super fast, but he, it's not less than 90. He's kind of in the slower type of region here. His stats are okay. Now, he's based upon attack, which is a little bit of a bummer because I would like to be able to see him based upon defense or something like that, but I think he's a little bit more of utility, and being able to remove buffs and continually HP burn plus weaken one target's going to be nice, especially for bosses. I actually think this character is pretty good. He's force-based. I tend to like force-based epics. For whatever reason, it seems like you get a lot more of magic characters than almost anything else. Maybe that's just my experience. All in all, the character's pretty good. So what do we have to do in order to get him? So if we actually go and we look at the event itself, it's going to require 40 Ancient Shards in order to pull for him. Now, we know there's no 2x or any type of thing going on. There's no 10x because it's just a normal standard opening. Now, is the value of 40 Ancient Shards worth the Geomancer? Well, if we go to the shop and we look in the shop and we look, here, let me just claim the free thing real quick. And you look for 900 gems, you can get 11 Ancient Shards. So for full whoa. Dude, I just got attacked by a sneeze ghost out of nowhere. Oh my lord. Okay, leave a comment if you've ever been attacked by a sneeze like that before. All right, but Man, that one really got me, okay? It's like a new religion just hit me there. So now with 3,600 gems, you can basically purchase a Geomancer plus the things you get out of the 40 shards. I don't know if I was free to play sitting here on my free to play account and I had 40 Ancients, if I would want to pull for this character. I don't think this is a bad event. I think it's actually a decent opportunity, to be honest with you, and you might actually be interested in doing this if you really want Geomancer, and I think the price is just about right. For the Ancient Shards is, you know, when it's not on the 2x is a bummer, but if it was on a 2x or something, I think that's also very reasonable. So I don't have any kinds of problems with this event. I don't think the character is worth 3,600 gems if you were going to do it just by the straight gem style level, because if we go to the shop and we see, okay, well, if you could 3,600 gem it, how much does 3,600 gems actually cost? And you could look through here and you could be like, okay, well, I could buy the 15 Ancient Shard pack plus the gems, and I could effectively get enough here to buy, you know, all the Ancients I need for about $100. I could get myself a Geomancer. I don't know if the character is worth $100. This character is probably worth, I would say, more around maybe like $50 to $80, but it's not that far off the pricing. You know, I actually don't have that big of an issue with this event, to be honest. I don't think this one really has a problem. I think it's an offer. If you guys want to go for it, you have the potential to do it. It's within reasonable pricing. I don't think it's too crazy. The fact it's not during the 2x is a little bit of a bait, but you know what? Here's the thing about constantly saying stuff's a bait and all that. Like, it becomes a point on YouTube where it used to be where it's like certain stuff is kind of a bait because events aren't so often be like, oh, this 10x is a bait, be careful, save for the 2x rare. And now it's like, is it really a bait? Because everyone understands there's the 2x events, you're going to get 2 times your chance, whatever event that they're going to do that coexists with that, they'll do the 10x sometimes also with the 2x's, and then they're going to offer these other events, and they're, you know, you can kind of choose what you want. You can just save your Ancient Shards if you want, but if you want to pull for the Ancient Shards for this Geomancer, it's really not that bad. I mean, Geomancer seems like a pretty good character, and the fact that the passive does trigger Giant Slayer, and you get weaken plus HP burn, and most characters have like, or not most, but a lot of characters you get kind of nearish to the beginning have 60% decreased defense. Like, it's not too hard to get one of those characters, you know, War Maiden, for instance. So you have you'll get the defense down from somebody, plus your starter character. Then if you get Geomancer, you're going to get HP burn, plus weaken, plus all of the other things that he has on him, right? And a way to remove buffs. It's actually pretty good. I think it's actually pretty good, and he's probably especially good for Doom Tower and bosses there. So if you want to go for him, it's just about $100 is what it looks like as far as the valuation goes. But obviously you get what you get from the, you know, the $100 you spend as well on the 40 shards, etc. For me personally, I'm not really like terribly excited. I don't think that this is something, if I was still spending, I would go for. If I was somebody who was newer to the game, I would probably be waiting for deals for Void Shards or something for my $100. But I could see people getting talked into this character and it being a decision they're totally okay with. I actually kind of like this event, to be honest. I like seeing events where it's lower number of shards to get something guaranteed as a bonus. I think this is a great precedent. Personally, I would like to see maybe 20 or 25 shards gets you like a guaranteed really nice rare. Could be pretty cool. I don't know. That might be nice. Maybe Fellhound, like 25 Ancients gets you a nice Void Rare or something. You know, there's ways they could go with it, is what I'm saying. So I think that this could be a interesting precedent going forward of a lower Ancient Shard count. And the whole conversation of like, oh, is it a bait, you know, for the 2x or 10x or whatever? It's like, okay, well, you know, maybe it's a bait. Yeah, maybe they're trying to get everyone to drain their Ancient Shards and they're going to sell more in the next thing. But that's always what's going to happen in this game. There's always an event going on lately, and just wait for the ones you want. My opinion have changed on the whole, it's a bait, it's a scam, because really it's like, it's just another event. They're like, maybe people will spend money on this one, then the next one, maybe people spend money on this one, and they're always going to have an event out for you to do. So personally, if you want to do this one, I don't think you should feel too bad about it. I think it's all right. The character looks fairly decent. But hey, that's just one whale's opinion, or one guppy's opinion, I suppose, now, as I am free to play. Over a year now we've been free to play on this channel. Love y'all. Thanks for subscribing and liking the video, and I'll see you on the next one.